Welcome back to the GSL Code A, where we saw JYP hold off the Biden attack from Hack, and then afterwards just take that Code S spot.
That was a crazy game, and especially the second match was a little bit, well, out of the ordinary, let's put it like this.
Yeah.
The Banshee. Wow.
You know the Korean Observer is at Craze Burgers right now. Why is he not here? I just looked at my Twitter and his tweet says, "I'm at Craze Burgers."
That's just down the road.
Isn't there Craze Burgers in Mokdong? I didn't know that.
Well, if you go to, thingy.
Oh, to Omokyo?
Omokyo, yeah, exactly.
Okay. I didn't know that.
It's not quite at Omokyo Station, but it's between Omokyo and Mokdong.
I gotta ask a question. Is Craze Burgers good? Have you been there?
No, not really. Well, I haven't been there.
Oh, okay.
I can't judge. I don't know.
All
I
right.
try to avoid fast food.
Well, HyuN versus Genius. Genius currently still teamless. There were some rumors going around that he might join Mouse Sports, but so
not
far
really rumors. They just tweeted some weird thing, like what did it say? We are not evil, but we are genius. That led to a lot of assumptions and predictions.
Yeah.
I don't know. They might have been trolling a little bit, or I don't know.
Well, he certainly hasn't joined yet, that's for sure. And HyuN, man, he has been on fire. Looked really good yesterday in the WCS preliminaries. Was taken out by his teammate Polt in the final round, but a great player overall. He's been playing mostly ZVZ, so we'll see how he performs here. His team just recently got knocked out of the GSTL finals.
But even though he mostly performed CVZ in the past few weeks, his best matchup is still the matchup against Protoss. And on the other hand, we have Genius with a very good record against Zerg. So this is going to be an exciting game. Two masters at this matchup will face each other.
Yeah. Genius, he looks warmed up. You know, we haven't seen this guy too much recently.
Professor Schröder confirms.
Ja.
Ja, das ist gut.
Ganz gut, man. All right. Here we go, game one, and our final best of 3 of the morning session here. We're going to find out whether HyuN will have his first breakthrough performance go all the way to Code S, or will he be taken out here by Genius, BlizzCon champion, longtime Code S player here at the GSL Code A.
Let's get ready to rock and roll, guys. At the bottom left, we have in our best of 3 map number 1, the Zerg player. Starting for TSL, it is
TSL HyuN.
67% record against Protoss, 92 wins, 46 losses. He just defeated Tails in one of the Zote Cups. In the same cup he had to defeat Arthur. Was successful against Baby Knight, against Crane. Took down King Cobra, Risk, and Warslash. Half of those players I've never heard of, but I've certainly heard of Killer, who he defeated in the TSL qualifier.
Genius.
Is his opponent in this game. He starts to the top left in blue, as you can see. There he is on camera. And our Protoss player also with a very, very good record in this matchup. 30 wins and 25 losses against Zerg. The last few Zerg opponents that he faced were Lovesick. He was able to win. Genius, that is. Genius won against Boong Boong. He was able to win against Slivko and also against Nurchio at DreamHack. But he lost to Red. So let's see how this game is going to pan out here. Just to give you guys a little bit of a background for those two players in the recent past in this matchup. Of course, we have for HyuN now the pool into Expand. And Genius apparently starting things up with a Forge.
Yep, Forge before Nexus. With the positioning of this, his wall-off is a little bit different than most people do on this map, but I like that. You can see our winner prediction puts Genius at 69.2%. I would say that there's a lot of Genius fans, but HyuN has made quite the name for himself recently. Probably a lot of people really wanting him to win today. No hatch at the natural for HyuN, as he was blocked by the probe, so he went for that third base instead. And will likely take the natural before taking gas. Genius's core going to be slightly delayed by the fact that we have this cannon going down so early.
The Overlord already saw exactly what he needed to see. Had a quick look at the wall-off, so he has a very early scout of his opponent, knows what's going on here. And let's see what we have in the mid-game. Of course, Entombed is a map where most Protoss players try to take the third base and build their army up from this 3-base position. But it's sometimes also the case that we have a 2-base timing just to mixing things up a little bit and putting a bit of pressure onto the Zerg player. But being on 3 base is exactly what you want to have. Then you can transition right into this high attack with the warp. Well, you can go for warp prism in these locations as well, of course, but rather around the mothership. And of course, you want to take your 4th, which is really easy to take when you have the 3rd. You can just push out a bit, take the 4th, secure it with a couple of gateways. Broodlords and late games with Mothership and Archon is what we usually see on this map. But just recently, a bit more aggressiveness by Protoss players.
You're right. We've seen Protoss players not comfortable to go to the Mothership, go to make this map Vortex Valley. Sometimes going for big gateway pushes on 3 base without really Colossi at all, just pure Blink Stalker sometimes. That type of push can be used. Just depends on the tech of the Zerg. What is he going to choose? What is his plan? That's the kind of questions that will soon be answered. Probably just going to see Roach aggression from HyuN. That's the normal way of things. You see +1 being started for Genius here. We'll see how much he wants to chrono boost this, and whether or not he actually goes for that really quick 4 gateway pressure. And one of the first players to really execute this with Void Rays is Genius, so we'll see how he actually follows through here.
Yeah, he certainly loves the Stargate play and loves Void Rays. We've seen this also in the series that he played in the finals against DRG. Currently not without tech, has nothing here. The Overlord already had it for the natural on the main base to the left side of the map. Wants to get a good look here.
Yeah, and he's not going to see anything. The thing he has already seen though is that Genius has taken 4 gases. He sees that with the Overlord, he's positioned for that. But Genius is actually chasing the Overlord away from the main base. No, actually, that was just a probe that made a pylon, so Overlord leaves voluntarily.
He has 2. 1 to the top right, 1 to the bottom left of the main base of Genius. HyuN just making sure that he has the best position to scout what's going on. Very early Evolution Chamber on Roach, Warren already at 640 instead of building it like 20 minutes later.
And here we go, Genius add in the 3 gates. Very late, but they're still going to be done in time.
The Overlord should be able to spot this. He saw the pylon earlier, so he needs to realize, okay, well, he built a pylon to the right. He certainly wants to build something. Let's have a quick look in there and check if there are additional gateways or if there's some tech that he tries to hide. So as soon as HyuN knows what's going on, he will start to produce units. And with this early Roach Warren that he has, he will have them in time. But he needs to get rid of the rocks.
He needs to get rid of the rocks. Something that is a little bit concerning for Genius right now is that he has almost 500 gas since he's mining from those 4 gases. Something that he showed to the Overlord, so it's kind of a fake. Like, hey, I'm mining all these gases, you probably think I'm teching, I'm not going to attack you with these 4 gateways, but actually I am. But he's going to have to spend that pretty soon. I mean, it's getting out of control. He's almost got 700 gas now. He's going to be using almost purely Zealots with that Warpin if he decides to use it, which he's not set up a forward pylon for, so you actually will not use. This is really weird.
Twilight Council has been started, and at the same time we have a few Zerglings building, we have a few Roaches. There are units on the map for HyuN that can already attack and some kind of move out by Genius early on. But as you said, the timing for the Protoss player is a little bit off. He's going for the robotics now as well. And also HyuN is wondering what exactly is going on here.
Yeah,
he's just trying to take the 3rd base, I guess, with all the sentries that he just warped in.
Yeah, a few more and they'll have Kespa sentries. But, I mean, that's what he spent his gas on so far. And he can get upgrades like +2 right now. He can get Blink if he wants to right away with that Twilight Council as his Robo is on the way. He has all these options with the extra gas that he banked up earlier on. And not committing to the attack is smart. His Warp Gate research was not very quick, nor were his gates. Overseer sees the gateways, but that's all he sees.
And he has a few units on the map. He's going for the Overlord speed. It did not get dropped though, did he?
No.
Okay, +1 attack, speed for the Roaches. And with the Overlord speed, he can move the Overlords to the expansions at the top right, for example. He can immediately start dropping creep as soon as he reached Lair and make sure that the expansions are a bit harder to take. Lair tech is, of course, already done.
The Lair tech being done, the Roach speed finishing up here.
4th base.
4th. I mean, he's just like, well, Genius' build seems a little bit strange, but he's not attacking me. I take my 4th. I'm going to continue to build Roaches while I tech. In fact, I would expect to see an Infestation Pit fairly soon. As soon as the 4th finishes, I think he's kind of waiting to see what Genius' next move is first. He's like, well, I could make the Infestation Pit, but I want to attack him a little bit, see what his composition is that he's making. Just kind of find out if I'm going to be vulnerable if I make that right now.
He's just poking a little bit. He sees about the 3rd, so he will start his tech. He will just prepare for this. He's not gonna try to bust through with the roaches.
Yeah, it's not enough roaches, and he'll never be able to break through against that. Problem for him right now is that Genius is getting this robotic support bait very quickly with that extra gas that he had earlier on. And if he gets Infestors after Colossi are already out, they're not going to be very effective in any situation.
The expansion is now done. He needs to take the gas, though. This is one of the limiting factors for HyuN, which is so often the case when you're a Zerg player. And Ling and Roach is on their way. The Overlords too. Does he think he researched drop?
I hope not, because he didn't. And
this is a style that TSL players will use. The TSL Zergs are known for this drop style. But I actually think that... I mean, either it's going to be a huge fake, but how would you fake that?
yeah,
He's moving back with the Overlords. You can't see it on the minimap. I think he just... Yeah, he's starting drop. He forgot it. He forgot about drop.
Wow, that's a huge mistake.
This could be game-ending. HyuN's whole attack, the whole strategy, was centered around a drop at 200 supply. And now he doesn't have the drop ability. And we've seen HyuN use this style. TSL Zergs love this style. Maxing out very fast. He maxed out at 12 minutes. And with Overlord drop, he would have been able to get into the base.
Yeah, you're right. And this is something that Genius is also starting to freak out about. He's trying to use these Overlords to bait Genius back, because this is all he can really do. But there's an Observer here. That's the problem. The Observer's like, wait a minute, this is bogus. Chasing him away here. Some Force Fields will help him out. And here they go. Whoa, cut that Zerg army.
HyuN committed a lot of resources to build up this army. And this army is completely useless to him now. It's on the map. It's all the resources that he did not want to commit to, and it's a horrible situation for him to be in. He's going for the infestation bait, he's starting follow-ups, he's trying to get rid of the resource that he has, but he knows fully well that he's in a bad spot now. The entire attack that he designed, that he tried to work, was not successful. It simply failed because he forgot one upgrade. Now it's done. But this is a position where he can't attack anymore. The timing just doesn't work out anymore. He's up against 3 Immortals already. The first Colossus is in the game. The second one on its way. External Thermal Lance nearly done. He can start to drop a little bit, but this huge and massive drop is not going to be an option anymore.
Yeah. He's banking up the Larva that he can use since he's maxed. And his resources are getting high with the 4th. But the drop timing is gone. The window is closed.
He's going to try though. He has to do something.
Yeah, you know, he's got to trade his supply in some way, you're right. And even with the Overlord speed, that Overseer was not able to escape. This is a big drop.
This is 2.5 minutes later than it would have hit. 2.5 minutes that Genius could use to get even in supply. And here comes the drop. Immediately Genius on the move. Here they come, Roaches and Zerglings. He's dropping them in. Colossi, Immortal, so much DPS for the Protoss. He doesn't have the bank. And nice, headed for the main base now. HyuN trying to fake him out, but he lost so much supply already.
He did, man. He's dropped down to 126. He has a ton of larvae, but he's not using it right now. Not at all. He has 50 larvae, and he's actually not remaking units. It's almost as if he knows this game is over. Hive is on the way.
It's not necessarily over yet, but he just tries to save up for later. But yeah, he's definitely behind.
Yeah, I would say so. He damaged almost nothing. And he's down to 81 supply. 8 Infestors is what he makes first.
Resources lost 9,000 to 2,000.
And he starts 50 Lings as well.
50 Zerglings.
He doesn't have the gas to remake the Roaches.
Genius knows he has to move out now, or he can move out, and that's exactly what he does. When your opponent loses a 200 supply army, then of course you can immediately start to attack, especially when you didn't lose anything at all.
Yeah, those Spines were basically desperate, and these Lings against the Colossi are going to do nothing. The army of Genius has +3.
Genius is sitting in his booth now, he's wondering, what was that? And he's like, well, I don't know, but I'll take it.
I mean, literally, the game is decided by a forgetting of a warp gate. I mean, a forgetting of a drop research. That's silly, and it's unfortunate. It's not the level of play we expect from HyuN, but it's just this little mistake that changed the game.
It happens. You hit those, and they is very disappointed, and he should be. At this point, he hit a hotkey. Either the hotkey didn't work, he didn't have enough resources, he didn't hit the right key. I don't know what it was, but for some reason the upgrade was not researched, and then when he started with a drop, it simply failed.
Yeah, very simply. Well, Genius in the booth now.
Genius with the present on Geno 1.
Yeah.
Genius like, okay, it's my birthday, I've been a good boy.
He's like, well, I guess I really am a genius. He's like, that game was just so easy. He's like, my power, my intelligence must be increasing. No, he's so genius that he knows what's going on. He's probably like, I forgot your drop. Like, Genius likes to keep the liquid in his mouth a little bit longer than most people before he swallows it. I noticed that just now. Well, our second map is going to be Metropolis, and we may see a Warp Prism drop. Look at that Genius face. He's like, oh man. The Genius face just then, I love it.
HyuN tries to focus now. Things got serious. They are certainly looking a lot
Well, they're not
for
looking
him
serious
now.
for you, but they're looking serious for him right now. He is, he's going to have to really step it up. This is a map that Zerg players do not feel comfortable against 2-base Protoss timing attacks on. The late game here can be quite good for Broodlords, but you have to get there first. And HyuN can do this, but if he is not mentally prepared, if he is not ready for this, I'm not sure if Genius is going to care. He's just going to kill him.
He dropped the units in the end, HyuN that is, anyways, because he just knew he had to do something. He couldn't just simply sit there and take the hit, so yeah, it was over. Genius would have just simply crushed him with his army composition. Now we're heading into map number 2. HyuN against Genius here at the GSL Code A. And the map is Metropolis.